And joining us on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline is the manager of the Miami Marlins, our friend Skip Schumaker, who I know they're going to kill it. And Skip, you know you're making a big mistake by coming on because once you win tonight, you're going to feel, because like every baseball manager superstitious, that you're going to have to come on with us every single day in October
every day
to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, we'll get you 24 hours from now.
If we win, you got it. No problem.
I love it. I love it. All right, first of all, how fired up are you right now?
I'm fired up. It's been an amazing season for a lot of our players and our staff to get to this point. Kim being the first female GM to get in the postseason. Just a lot of positive things happened this year, and couldn't be more excited for tonight.
How did you guys keep things together with the injury to Sandy Alcantara and
Yuri Perez?
Yeah, I mean, Jazz Chisholm was out a bunch. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the deepest, most talent-laden team, yet you guys didn't fall apart in the end. Is there something your coaching staff, anything that you focused on to kind of keep it going there at the end?
I think it was all of us, staff and the players inside that clubhouse. That we just had fight. We didn't have, we were out talented, I guess, for a lot of people would say, for the most of the year, as far as the superstar names or people who haven't heard a lot of our players before. But these guys play as hard as they can every single night, and they post. When you have got big names go down like Sandy and Yuri Perez and going bullpen games for the last 6 weeks or so, some injuries that with the rise and Soler the last month, it was tough to get through. But man, these guys fight, and as a manager, that's all you can ask for.
Talking to Skip Schumaker here, manager of the Miami Marlins, not Florida, here on Ben and Woods this morning. I wanted to ask you, too, how is the health of your team going in tonight? Like Luis was hitting the other day on one leg. How's he feeling?
Yeah, he's been trying to get back in the lineup the last week or so. Didn't feel like it was the right play, just where we were. If we needed to go back to New York after that debacle, then he would have played. But I think we are as healthy as we've been in a long time, and I look forward to seeing him tonight.
You were here obviously in the COVID season for a little bit of a champagne celebration, but you had the first real one had to be for you last week. What was that like in the clubhouse when you guys clinched on Saturday?
Yeah, last year, I was with St. Louis, and I didn't get to be part of it. My dad was in the hospital, had to fly home for that celebration, so I missed that. The COVID year one was weird. So we weren't allowed to do too much celebrating. We kind of did a little bit, but this one was pretty special because nobody had us go into the playoffs. Not one writer, not one had us, predicted to really even get to 500, let alone to get to the playoffs. It was a special season. The moves that Kim made really, got us here. And I think there's just a belief, from day one that we had a chance. But once we made those at the trade line, those moves, the trade deadline, those moves, I think that's when we really believed we could do it. And so yeah, spraying champagne. I made the goggles. Those guys take off the goggles so they could feel the burn in their eyes. Because if you feel the burn, then that means you've done something in the league. And so I made them take those goggles off at least for the first couple minutes.
That's fantastic. Talking to Skip Schumaker here on Ben and Woods this morning. So how do you, after the season that you had, after the, coming down really to the wire when you guys clinch, guys, like you said, posting, playing injured, grinding. I mean, you guys are one of the grindiest teams I've ever watched. How do you get the guys ready for what's at stake tonight, right? I saw a couple of stories of managers that are like, no, we're going to do a sim game. Some of the buy teams like, we're going to bring fans in and do like a scrimmage and things like that. But the turnaround's so quick for you guys. Do you tell them like, hey, I actually want you to rest a little bit, get your bodies right? Or are you back out there front toss, hitting off the tee, velo machine? How does that work?
I only know one way. I think you guys know me by now.
I think so, yeah.
I only know one way. Yeah. And I don't know another way besides to work. We got here because of work, because guys worked every day, because guys took ground balls every day and were taking BP. And these guys bought in, and when your best players are your hardest workers, and Arias is taking ground balls every single day on day games, and Valera's taking BP every single day, and guys are getting after it. We kind of set that tone in spring training, and guys just wanted to get better. And when you have that want to get better and belief that you have to do everything you can to win today, that mindset, man, it goes a long way. So we had a workout yesterday. Everybody showed up. Everybody took ground balls. And I think if you change up the way you do things now, that maybe shows a little bit of sign of panic, just for me. This is how I think about it. And I don't want to change what we've done since spring training just because we're in the playoffs. Like, we're ready to go. We're going to do everything we can to prepare these guys and put them in the right position to succeed. And then the game's the game. And I don't want to make it any more than that.
Obviously, we saw what happened last October when the Phillies got really hot. I mean, so many dangerous hitters, and now Trey Turner as well. How do you kind of attack that team without, you don't want to walk everyone. You got to pitch to some guys, but you also know Schwarber and Harper and Turner, and they can be so dangerous.
Hey, Skip, that Bryce Harper's got a pretty good eye. Yeah. Just in case you remember, lays off a changeup down in the zone. Just remind Jesus of that tonight. Maybe go up in the zone to get him. I don't know. I really don't know what you do.
Yeah, it's a really good lineup. They're also healthy. I don't think enough has been talked about Bryce Harper and him moving to first base and doing whatever is needed to help that team win. And having Bobby Dickerson there, I know what kind of infield coach he is, and helping Bryce, play first base, because when your best player is willing to move off of a position to play first base, I mean, that is not easy. And then still after an injury and still produce like he's producing, it's incredible. The amount of respect I have for him is I don't know if I could have any more than I already do. So it's going to be a challenge. We have faced them a lot this year. We know what to expect, and we've had some success, but the postseason is different. There's no doubt about it. They are playoff tested. We have a couple guys that are playoff tested as well. Soler won a World Series MVP. So we have an idea of what it will look like. It's a tough environment, no doubt about it, but we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Man, it's so cool. Yeah, Jorge Soler, pretty good in the postseason. I mean, he's got it dialed up. You talk about, again, some of your acquisitions, like Berger. Oh my God! I mean, what a steal from the White Sox. Him being able to get out of that situation, come to where you guys, and now he's just been embraced as this kind of folk hero, had some big hits for you down the stretch. Of course, Jazz Chisholm swinging it really, really well. It's a really, really fun team, man. I know you're probably not going to change much from what got you there, but any thoughts of, do you get a little panicked of, all right, should I tweak the lineup a little bit? I mean, you got a tough customer tonight in Zach Wheeler. He's pretty nasty. So what do? You just continue to do what you've been doing?
Yeah, I continue to do what we've been doing. We play our guys. We are not afraid to pinch hit at times and try to get the best matchups we can against, different arms in their bullpen that they come out with. I mean, Soto and Alvarado obviously are lefties that throw 100 miles an hour. They're going to be challenging tonight in this series. And they got some, obviously Kimbrel in the back end. So we have to do the best we can to, mix up the lineup. But we've been doing that the whole year. So I don't think there's going to be any changes, when the lineup is out for the public to see. It's going to be a very similar lineup that we've been, posting, versus right, versus left, and, whatever it's going to be. And, I'm looking forward to Arias back at the top. We haven't had him for a week leading off. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him tonight and seeing what we got now that we have a fully healthy lineup.
So it's 10:49 in the morning in Philly. The game's not until 8. Is that? Do you almost wish you were playing one of those earlier games just to get it going because you're going to be stewing all day, or is the wait a good thing? Are you going to get there earlier? How does this work for you?
Oh, he's there right now.
I hope not. Come on.
I have a routine that I do as a player and then now as a manager in the mornings, and then making sure that I'm ready to go for when the players show up, to make sure if they have any questions, we are ready to give them whatever they need. So that doesn't really change. I like the later games, honestly, because there's sometimes you get these weird times of games, and there's some shadows, man, that are tough during the playoffs. You get the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock type of game, and that's not talked about enough when some teams get those. If you're not in a dome, that's really challenging because you're facing an ace every night now. And I think I would prefer, I like the later games. I'll say it like that.
Well, and the other thing I love about your team and what they didn't do is they didn't make excuses because of with some of the injuries you guys have had with obviously Sandy. I mean, if it's game one tonight, it's probably Sandy Alcantara. As good as Jesus Luzardo has been, it's Sandy Alcantara on the mound, and Yuri Perez is probably your second or third option. I mean, you've got some really big names that are hurt, and the guys seem to be playing even better and coming together even more in spite of all the hurdles and stuff you guys have had.
Yeah, no one's going to feel sorry for us. And honestly, Woodsy, if you think about a lot of these teams in the postseason, they're going through something.
True. Especially
on the mound. There's a lot of injuries. You and I have discussed it before about, what maybe is the cause of those injuries. But a lot of teams are going through this in the postseason. So, we're no different. And, again, our bullpen has been, how we got here. Honestly, and Luzardo is a good pitcher. So it's not like I'm like, oh man, Luzardo's pitching today. I'm excited to watch this kid throw. He's a Miami kid that grew up, and he's ready for this moment, and I'm excited to watch him pitch.
Well, we'll let you get back to all that prep. Good luck tonight, and I guess same time tomorrow morning after you take game one, Skip. We'll talk to you then.
Go get him.
I'm in. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Skip Schumaker, manager of the Miami Marlins. We'll be pulling for him tonight, absolutely, on our Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline. Save money the right way with Premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad. Visit them today in the Carlsbad Auto Mall. Chevrolet, find new roads.